Holy shit. It's been a while. Hello everybody, I'm Jaybills, and today we're taking a look at Spyro 2 Riptos Rage. It has been a wild and long 7 months on my end, but I'm glad to be back with another review. And what a great start on the return. We're reviewing one of the greatest 3D platformers ever made, and one of my favorite games of all time, Spyro 2 Riptos Rage. Also known as the best Spyro game in the entire franchise, don't at me. Released in 1999 due to the raging success of the first game, Spyro has made a name for himself in the gaming world and for the PlayStation itself. The first game released to millions sold and critical acclaim, and it was no surprise to see the second game follow the same direction as the first. I've always considered Spyro 2 to be the best out of the trilogy, but it's very split down the middle. With the fanbase, many think and label Spyro 3 as the best over 2, and dislike 2 due to its reliance on gimmicks and minigames. But I never exactly got the point there. I mean, Spyro 3 does the exact same thing, but arguably worse. So I don't get why that's the main criticism Spyro 3 fans make so much. But enough of that, let's dive in. So the story starts off with Spyro minding his own business and running in the rain with Sparks. Spyro, being sick of the rain, decides to take a well-deserved vacation to Dragon Shores to see the sun and rest up from defeating Nasty. But little does Spyro know, on the other side of the portal there's 3 random people trying to bring a dragon to Avalar to stop the new villain, Ripto. These new characters are the Professor, Hunter, and Elora. Elora is a goat.
I'm a fawn, you dork.
Alrighty then, Elora is a moody jerk, Hunter is slow in the head, and the Professor is, bald. After some time, the Professor intercepts Spyro's portal to the Dragon Shores and brings him to Avalar. And everyone is surprised. I mean, Spyro is confused, wondering where the hell the beach is, and the other 3 pricks are already thinking the plan failed because they thought they'd have a ferocious dragon, but instead, get tiny little Spyro over here. Hunter especially is confused. Just look at this dude's reaction.
You're a dragon?
You got a problem with that pussy?
Whoa. Spyro. Rated E for everyone, man. Stop fucking swearing! After the introductions, we finally meet the main villain of the game, Ripto, and then his minions, Crush and Gulp. And this is already better than the first game. In Spyro 2, you have the villain interacting with the protagonist throughout the whole game. Each meeting is always fun. It makes you actually give a shit about stopping the bad guy and saving everybody from certain doom. The build-up between Spyro and Ripto's battle throughout the game is awesome. The story is easily one of my favorite parts about Spyro 2. So now, after a very fun cutscene, Spyro embarks on the journey to collect all the talismans and orbs to stop Ripto's evil plan and save Avalar. Right off the bat, you could feel just how much better and smoother the controls feel. Spyro has unlockable abilities throughout the game that are required to 100% the levels. He has swimming, head bash, and climbing, and of course has an extra hover move at the start to traverse the worlds even better. What I love about the unlockable abilities is how well they're implemented. These power-ups are unlocked throughout the game by paywall master moneybags here. And there are a lot of levels that require certain power-ups to 100% and collect everything in them. So you have to backtrack to them, and not all can be completed in one go, which is awesome, and adds more replay value to the game. Spyro 2 is one of the only games where I actually don't mind backtracking, and I never thought I would say that in my life. The worlds and levels you play through are so much more livelier with the newly added NPCs, variety in enemy types, and the newly added cutscenes at the beginning and end of each level. It shows you the problem plaguing the inhabitants at the start, and then showing you how the problem is resolved. These cutscenes are easily one of the best parts of the game. Another massive improvement is there's more incentive to collecting everything. The gems are needed to pay and unlock power-ups in certain areas and levels, and newly added orbs are required to get to the final boss. There are also 7 talismans to collect. Those are really just there and are easy to get. They're kind of at the end of the levels. Collecting the orbs and gems are even more satisfying than how it was in the original. Some orbs require platforming skills and are hidden really well in the hub worlds, adding some challenge with collecting. But most orbs are collected by doing the in-level challenges. Many of the Spyro fans complain about the over-reliance on the challenges in Spyro 2, but I don't see a whole much of a problem. Some of them are absolutely terrible, like the stupid alchemist one, but a lot of these are implemented so well into the levels and are honestly really fun. It once again makes the world and levels feel so much bigger and livelier. Spyro 2, in my opinion, perfects this and just perfects the formula in general. Spyro 2 nails everything that Spyro 3 eventually ruined, but that discussion is for a later day. Now this is where Spyro 2 shines the most. The missions in this game break the gameplay up well, and gives you something new and fun to do every single level. It doesn't get old or boring like in the first game. You always have something new and something fun to do in the levels to change the gameplay. Speedways also make a return, and even those got a nice upgrade. While mostly the same, you now have the ability to fly freely and look for NPCs in the levels and do more challenges to earn more orbs. The speedways are one thing I absolutely hated in Spyro 1, but in Spyro 2, and surprisingly Spyro 3, they became some of my favorite moments in the game. They're so much more fun to play compared to the first game. Another thing they added in the levels that I like are the extra power-ups to traverse the world and find more collectibles. Instead of enemies dropping gems when you hit them, you now get their souls? Dear God, Spyro, you murderer. Collecting a certain amount unlocks power-ups in the levels, like you have a supercharge, free flight, and this thing that just launches you across the level. It's great. I love it. I'm not sure if I mentioned how much I love this, but God, I love the NPCs. All of these guys are fun to talk to and make the levels so much better. They're even more hilarious in cutscenes. Look at this guy, he's literally SpongeBob.
We've always had trouble with the gear grinders, but now they've set up force fields to separate us. If you can find diodes, you can use them to turn off the force fields.
And then you have this dude over here with his fucking magical bagpipes just doing wild shit and helping Spyro with his sick-ass tunes.
Thank you for releasing me.
Just when you thought Spyro 2 couldn't be even more amazing than it already is, Insomniac is like, hey guys, new fucking hub worlds, let's go! That's right, Spyro 2 has 3 new hub worlds to explore: Summer Forest, Autumn Plains, and Winter Tundra. All 3 of these hub worlds are much wider and much bigger, having more areas to explore to collect gems and platforming challenges to collect orbs. It's great. Spyro 2's hub worlds might be one of my favorites in gaming. All of this accompanied by another amazing soundtrack by the main man himself, Stuart Copeland. Most of the tracks in this game are absolute masterpieces that add to the immersion, and the ambient and peaceful tracks in the hub worlds make this game so much more relaxing to play and fills you with just calmness and joy. It's amazing. The hub world tracks are fantastic, but one of my personal favorite tracks is from the level Zephyr, which by the way, is an awesome level. These blobs are in the middle of a war with breeze builders, and you have both sides in the war in different levels, which is just hilarious. Spyro doesn't give a crap. He just made your guys' war a never-ending one. It was at this moment Spyro learned, war is hell. Alright, so we went through 3 different pairs of pants, talking about how much more improved Spyro 2 is over Spyro 1, more incentive to collect things, wider and bigger levels with more to do, more to collect, amazing cutscenes that introduces us to these new NPCs' world, character interaction between Spyro and the main villain, the levels just feeling so much more fun and livelier. You name it, literally everything is better than the first game. But there is one thing we haven't mentioned, and that is the boss fights. Unlike Spyro 1, we are introduced to full-on boss fights, and not some oddly placed pile of uncreative garbage like the first game was with boss fights. Which, once again, I legitimately did not know those were considered boss fights. I honestly had no idea what the fuck they were all these years. I thought Spyro 1 just did not have any. Spyro 2 sees you fighting and going after Crush, Gulp, and finally Ripto. Ripto by far has the best boss fight in the franchise. There are 3 rounds to it, which may be annoying, but the boss fight is very well put together, and the final section sees you flying in the air over a pool of fucking lava, and you shoot this little prick down. Ha! Gotcha, you little bitch. Look at him sink in the lava just like that. Ripto is no more. We all know how lava works. I got a feeling we won't be seeing Ripto again anytime soon. Pain. After saving Avalar and defeating Ripto and collecting 8,000 gems and 55 orbs, you unlock Dragon Shores, another level to play where you go around playing 10 different minigames and collecting tokens, which unlocks you the theater where you can watch all the main cutscenes of the game. You know, I can't be the only one that finds this place weird. You have a shooting range with live targets, a roller coaster with a real cannon, a tunnel of love that promotes very questionable lifestyles, and a dunk booth with a whole ass Yeti. Does anyone else find this weird, or am I just going insane? How has this man not been arrested yet? Dragon Shores possibly being illegal in many different ways aside, for 100% completion, you unlock the Super Flame power-up. But the kicker here is that it's unlimited. Now you guys may think it's useless, I just beat the game, what's the point? But the cool thing about this is, you could start a new game with this power-up, making it even more useful and fun to use, and kinda making the 100% completion worth a damn. Now of course, this doesn't top Nasty's loot by any means, but man is it a good time, I love it. This isn't talked about as much in Spyro 2, but there is also a literal glitch where you could essentially double jump in this game. This kinda breaks the game in a way, but makes it more fun to play. You can do certain challenges early due to this exploit, skip sections of levels, and so much more. It's just the final cherry on top on this brilliant masterpiece of a game. Now, I know I have been sucking this game off, but as usual, there are some negatives we do need to address. The game is obviously, and not surprisingly, too easy. The game is fun, but it lacks a lot of challenge. I know Spyro games are never meant to be super difficult, but come on man, a good challenge is always welcome and needed in these platformers. Spyro 1, in my opinion, had a bit more challenge to it than this game. And I will agree on one thing, some challenges in Spyro 2 can be absolutely annoying and not fun whatsoever. Like the Alchemist, for example, fuck him. He doesn't know what he wants or what he's doing, he just walks aimlessly and you have to figure it out. I think the whole gimmick or challenges, whatever the hell you want to call them, is much more fun and way better implemented than it is in Spyro 3. But it definitely isn't free from criticism. And while I do love the 100% completion bonus, it is an absolute embarrassment compared to the satisfaction and greatness we got in Spyro 1 for collecting everything. But I'd argue the Spyro 2 bonus is a bit more useful in a way. The boss fights as well, while great and is an absolute masterpiece compared to this fuckery, are way too easy. I once again wish the game just had a bit more challenge to it. The new collectibles are also great and there's more incentive to collect things in the game, a massive step up over Spyro 1. But I just wish the talismans had more of a use in the game. They were mentioned once in one of the cutscenes, but that's kind of it. They're kinda just there for the sake of being there. Regardless of my criticisms for Spyro 2, it absolutely nails almost everything and is a massive step up from the first game in every aspect. The new cutscenes, the newly added NPCs, missions that add more depth to the gameplay, the well-implemented power-ups and replay value the game gives is just astounding. There's so much more to do and more to love in this game, and it absolutely perfects everything and does everything better than both Spyro 1 and 3 in my opinion. It will always be the greatest game in this franchise to me. With that being said, Spyro 2 lands a strong 9 out of 10. I do have my criticisms, but it does not affect the score drastically like before. This game is unbelievably great and one everyone has to experience. It is a near perfect 3D platformer. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about this video and Spyro 2 with a comment below, and be sure you smack the like button and subscribe, and stay tuned as we take a look at Spyro 3 next. This one is going to be a bumpy ride, so strap on good because I won't be holding back with this game at all. Jaybills signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But this one won't take 7 months, I can promise you that. Thank you for sticking by me through everything and for always believing in me. Life's been extremely hard for these last few years, and it's caused many inconsistent uploading times and rushed videos. But trust me, it will change. I'm gonna be better for you guys and for myself. That's a promise. Thank you guys for never giving up on me. Thanks for watching and for supporting me, and here's the 2021, and I'll see you guys in Sunrise Spring with Spyro 3.